Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, I'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 16 of the anime series ClassicaLoid. Once again, talk about a madcap episode. This was utter insanity. I didn't know half of what the hell I was watching. What the hell was going on? They constantly managed to outdo themselves with the absurdity episode after episode. And I wouldn't have thought that possible. It seems like a very rooted, basic premise of Kanai just wanting her ever-loving rent. She hands Beethoven and Mozart a bill effectively for every damn red cent, and they're just like arguing with her over dollars and cents, the extra zeros and everything like that. It is not until she turns her back on them and fantasizes off the cuff, very aloof, almost joking about having a giant Merle Pond fountain, decked out in the center of a completely rebuilt bathroom, that they finally are motivated to do anything, and they skip out the window right behind her back, so she turns around, they're gone. Not even the faint ghostly shape of clouds when they took off running. And this actually does motivate them to seek employment, to try to seek the raising of money. And strangely, they go to the agency looking to Boxama to give them a job, and they're turned away because they've already messed that up. We tried that once before. That didn't work. So they're sent to like this, I guess, a sort of tutorial group for musicians. They want to instill and inspire youngsters, teach them how to play instruments and the appreciation of music and everything. But they're inept. One of the two women who hired them on sees that they're never gonna manage one iota. Forget that. They're once again cast out. Then they run into Sosuke, who I assume this was part of the agency that he was going to probably to see maybe Barazuska. And he runs into him, and they reveal what their motivation is. We're looking for a job. We want to get a Merle Pond. And he starts cracking up. He's like, man, you guys are hilarious. They're all cracking up. Then they all stop, and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, but go to the convenience store. They have want ads. They go to the convenience store. It's like walking into a 7-Eleven. They're poring over the want ads, and I guess they probably saw like an escort service ad for women for like 30,000 yen a day or whatever it was, or an hour. I don't even remember. And of course, the shop owner is basically like, nah, that's for ladies. That ain't for you. You're never gonna get that. They wanted to use the phone, and the guy's like, well, tell you what. I mean, you could work here, So for a brief amount of time, we have Beats and Moats working in a convenience store, getting completely chewed out by the chick in the back. He was the owner. I guess she's the manager. And she's having, one stack the drinks, the other do unboxings of stuff and whatever like that. I forget exactly. It doesn't even matter because they realize, this woman is even more of a workhorse than Kanai. They decide to bow out. Instead of getting fired, they take off. They quit. When they realize they're not even going to get money on a daily basis, they're going to have to wait till the end of the month before they even get paycheck number one, And so this starts them on a grand, exalted adventure that I don't know. It seems like half of it is probably completely made up in Mozart's mind when he's finally relating it to Chopin, who, by the way, decided to become an outcluse, as he does once every year. He decides to go traveling, and he's like a traveling vlogger, for crying out loud. The guy who's socially inept, who's a recluse, who can't communicate with other people. He's on the frickin' camera, and he's talking to people all over the world, getting millions of views for this and everything. He runs into them, and here is Beats and Moats, and they're completely, discombobulated in the mind. They think they're like an elderly farming couple because of how long they've been on the road, trying to seek employment, trying to seek the making of money. And I'm just like, if I had a beverage in hand, I'd be doing spit take after spit take because I can't believe what the hell I'm seeing. And it was really interesting how Mozart, by the way, was like the wife of the couple. I wonder how far and away that went for both of them. But of course, they're relating the story, and you see like a shot of like an Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark situation where they hit a booby trap and a giant cavernous ball is coming out them. It's just like, I don't know what the hell they were smoking. Once again, I think I've said that about a couple of episodes in this series, and eventually, they realize the farming is where it's at. Chopin kind of gives them the insight that this is kind of paradise. It's beautiful. There's no nagging canaille, asking for rent. We're surrounded by nature. We're in a very peaceful environment. Everyone works together for the mutual benefit of everyone else. It's like tea season. But they overhear that this elderly couple who actually like owns the property, runs the entire lands, they're worried because none of the crops are growing the way they should be. They're going to probably be bankrupt and all this stuff. And we see sort of a great turn of character in Beethoven realizing we have to do something to help these people, and it'll help us as well. It's not like they're being completely unselfish, but he calls out the music and he creates this, sort of prolonged growing overnight of all of the crops, so they have the most bountiful, beneficial year they've probably ever had in their lives. They might even be able to retire, or at least they're good. They're solid for until the next season in any case. And then they send Beats and Moats packing. They're like, we don't need you now. Bye-bye. Here's some complimentary tea leaves. And here's your small amount of pay that you earned. And so, of course, they come back to Kanai, not so much crawling as just telling her straight out, we're back. And by the way, we don't have any rent money. We spent that all, everything we earned to get back here. And all the while, you have Schubert chasing down, senpai, Simi senpai, and completely missing him every which way he goes. Like, I don't know, he ends up with the manager chick from the convenience store by the end. He's crying his heart out. I'm like, how do you run into her? If he thought he was going to farmlands or something. I think Chopin said, does he even know where they are? No, apparently not. And then you got Liz, who is consumed as soon as, it is revealed to her that the whole impetus for them driving away to begin with was this Merlepan fountain. She creates one that is absolutely beautiful. It's a magnificent work of art, but she's unhappy with it and she destroys it. So she has another go at it. And based on the pixelation, it looks like she may have created something a little bit different, a little bit more, shall we say, phallic. And so they couldn't even show it. And then they're going to like jam it in the hole of the door. They all have to carry it and do this chant to get the thing in the house. And so I'm just like, what the hell was that? What the hell was this episode? It was absolute insanity. I'm not a coffee drinker, and I don't really like tea either, other than like iced tea. But if I needed a caffeine injection from the morning to get myself going, to get myself woken up and everything like that, just watch this effing episode. It completely did that. I'm like riding the rails, because I don't know what the hell I just watched. It's absolutely absurd and insane. I love every minute of it. I love these characters. I love all the music. I love just the strangeness, the absurdity, and nothing makes a lick of sense, and it's just gorgeous. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below if you've seen this particular episode of ClassicaLoid as well, if you found it as absurd and psycho as I did, if you enjoyed it as much as I did. If not, why not? Let me know in the comments below. And otherwise, that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Bring on the next one. I'll catch you later. Peace.